We will be looking at affixation as our next word formation process. Now, affixation. Affixation is the use of prefixes and suffixes to form a word. So the use of prefixes and suffixes that is what we mean by affixation, and it's also the new way of creating words, if you like. Let's look at prefixes. For example, we have a word like behave. Your friend can look into your face and tell my brother, stop misbehaving. So the use of miss here gives us another word. We have created another word from behave, and we call that prefix. In all affixation, the words are formed through affixation. We also have regular. Another can say what? Irregular. So the use of IR is a formation of another word. What about action? You are taking an action. Another will say reaction. The RE, we have created another word. We also have legible. There are some handwritings that they are like signature. So this handwriting is illegible. E. So the use of IL in addition to legible, we have formed another word, preface. Now this guy, R2Bs, I like the guy so much. He will tell you that, lady, I want to let you know, daddy, I don't want to let you go, because your love is so beautiful and irreplaceable. Your love is irreplaceable. So, we are replaceable. Then he is saying irreplaceable. Another word. What about imaginable? We have what? Unimaginable. So the use of UN, we have formed another word from what we have on the board. And Fernando Torres' goal is unimaginable. We have formed another word. This reminds me of a Champions League encounter between Barcelona and I think AS Roma last 2 seasons or so, or last season. The commentator, after the third goal from AS Roma by their defender, the commentator said, "Oh, and Roma have risen from their reigns. Manolas, the Greek god in Rome. The unthinkable unfolds before our eyes." The unthinkable, the word is think, but we have unthinkable, unfolds before our eyes. This was not meant to happen. This could not happen. This is happening. Barcelona, extraordinarily. So you see that unthinkable, the unimaginable, is what is happening. What about literate? And we can form another word from literate, which will give us what? Illiterate. So you see that the use of these words, these letters, miss, IR, RE, IL, IR, these things creates another word for us. Let's look at the other one, which is the twin. Suffixes. We have MPP governing the country this time. And together they are called what? Government. You have the legislature, the executive, and the judiciary. The arms of government. So, govern, which is our word, we are adding meant to it. The use of meant is suffix. We have created another word. What about meaning? who can't some. You speaking, you're talking to someone, and one says, oh, this man is making sense. Another will say, the master, what you are saying is meaningless. So, meaningless. The less creates another word. We can also think of womanhood. We have woman, but we also have womanhood. Neighbor. Of course, neighbor, if you write it this way, without a U, is the American writer or American neighbor. But if it is a UR, it's Britain. So neighborhood. The use of hood. We've created another word. We can also think of beauty. There are some ladies you see. If you don't have the Spirit of God in you, you look at them from cockroach to the chicken go home to roost. You look at them from dawn till the cows come home. Juliet Ibrahim. She's parcritudinous. So the word is parcritude. Parcritude, but which is a synonym for beauty. But we are saying that Juliet Ibrahim is parcritudinous. So, neos. Then beauty also becomes beautiful. So the full, the neos, gives us another word. So we've created another word. What about discipleship? Disciples. Remember when Jesus went to Capernaum, Galilee, he called his disciples. First, he mentioned Simon, Andrew, then we have James and John, the sons of Zebedee, Philip, Matthew. Now, Matthew Matthew 9, verse 9. Jesus was passing from the synagogue. Then he met Matthew, who was called Levi at that time. He was a tax collector. Jesus looked at him and he said, Wafa, Dimechi, follow me. And the man left his job and followed Jesus Christ. So you see that the word disciple is a word we all know. But we have also created another one. Of course, a disciple is, if you like, a common noun. But discipleship is abstract now. So you see that we've created another word from disciple. Then we can also think of questionable. Just imagine when Jesus went to Galilee and Simon and, if you like, Peter, Simon and Andrew, sorry, he's called Simon Peter, so the other one is Andrew. Then James and John, he told them that they should follow him and he will make them fishers of men. Even when we come to Matthew 9 verse 9, where Jesus met the tax collector, Matthew, who was called Levi, and said, follow me. Just imagine above four passing by, or be him and he said, Dimechi. What will be the question? Now you're quiet. One will be wondering that Matthew would have asked Jesus Christ that so the thing is questionable. Follow me. So question, which is an abstract noun, becomes questionable, becomes an adjective. You are creating another word from question. Now it is just wonderful that someone can just call you 12 a.m. No, besides, could you hear them? Me mobile money. How could you call your friend at 12 and be asking him what he's doing? Sometimes you about basketball. And I so you see that some questions are questionable. That is about affixation, which is another word formation process. The use of prefixes and suffixes to form a word. So one way through which the words we use in English language came about has to do with affixation, where we are talking about prefixes and suffixes. Alright. Now, we'll be looking at borrowing as our next word formation process. But before we do so, I think I forgot something to mention when we were talking about affixation. Quickly, let's look at that before we come to borrowing. The word invite. and invitation are now used interchangeably. Even the word hate and hatred are used interchangeably as far as nouns are concerned. So, invite, which is a verb, could also be used as a noun. So your friend can tell you that, please give me an invite for your birthday party. Give me an invite. Another will also say that, give me an invitation. So invite and invitation are nouns. In fact, they are synonymous. When you come here to hate and hatred, his hatred for me is beyond description. His hate for me is beyond understanding. So, invite, invitation, hate, hatred are the same. But we are talking about affixation, and we said that the shin that has been added is a suffix. So, we are creating another word from invite. Hate, so we are having thread, which is also suffix, which is also helping us to create another word. So, we just forgot this, and then quickly I want us to remind ourselves before we go to borrowing. Now, the subject is borrowing. Which has to do with the use of words from other languages. The use of words from other languages. We have words from Turkey, words from Latin, Greek, Germanic, Arabic, name them. The English language words are borrowed from some languages, and that is what you will be looking at in a bit. Now, do you know that the word yogurt is from Turkey? What about tycoon? Kennedy Japan is a business tycoon, and the word tycoon is Japanese. Even boss is Dutch, Netherlands. So you see that these words we use in English language are found in other languages. In fact, are borrowed from other languages. So, borrowing is one of the word formation processes, ways through which the English language words came about. Now, there is this table that will help us understand the use of borrowing. It goes this way. Here is the language, and there is the percentage. About 29% of the words we use in English are French. Another good 29% of the words we use in English are Latin. Germanic takes 26%. Then Greek takes 6%. And the rest, like Arabic and others, take 10%. So we can say others. When we are talking about Arabic and others, this is the percentage. When we calculate all these, we are going to get what? 100%. So, see, the number of words came from what? French and Latin, respectively. So you see that most of the words in the English language are borrowed words. Let's see a few of these words we are talking about. Let's start with Germanic. Words like fear is from Germany. Another word like experiment is Germanic. We can even think of machine. That is why in Germany we call them German machine. In Germany, the language they spell machine as automat. So you see auto, cars and the rest. Germanic. We can also think of anger. We can also think of connection. What about cabbage? All these words are Germanic. We use them in English language, but we borrow them from Germany. We can go to Latin, and in Latin, we can think of words like village. What about formula? What about stadium? Even province and party. Even party is also part of Germany. And police force. So you see that we can find party here in Latin and party in Germanic. So sometimes you have a word from one language and it's also in another language. Alright, so these are about words that come from Latin. Let's go to Spanish. Espanol. In Spanish, word like cockroach is found there. Yeah, mosquito, yeah, mosquito. Alligator. Even donkey. Chocolate. All these words are from Spanish. What about French? French, we can think of court. We can think of parliament. We can think of police. And you know, police is called different names in different countries. In England, for instance, police is called Metropolitan Police. In France too, it's called Metropolitan Police. So they've got different names for them in different countries. So we have court, we have parliament, we have police. We can also think of sachet. You can think of cliché. Cliché in literature, when a statement appears boring because of its overusage. For example, when someone says that birds of a feather flock together, it's not news to anyone. And everyone, even kindergarten, kids understand, in fact, they know of this idiomatic expression, birds of a feather flock together. And it is not birds of the same feathers, no. Birds of a feather flock together. So we have cliché. We also have machete. All these are from France. Even money. Measure how? Yeah, so money. All from what? France. So you see that we have party in Latin, we have party in Germanic. We have police in French, we have police in Germanic. So as we were trying to say earlier, you can have one in two different countries. Alright, let's also think of Arabic. And Arabic, it is wonderful that most of the mathematical computations are found in Arabic. So words like algebra. A friend of mine says that he thought mathematics is good for him. In fact, he is in his element when it comes to mathematics until he met algebra. He decided not to further his interest. So algebra is from Arabic. Zero. Arabic. Alcohol is Arabic. Coffee is Arabic. And even lemon. Lemon comes from Arabic. Then you also think of Greek. Man comes from Greek. Man has power. Man takes water, bone, blood, book. All those are from Greek. So all these you see are English words. In fact, they are words we use in English language. But have you seen how these words found their way to English language coming from other languages? That is what you mean by borrowing. We've borrowed the words from other languages. And using the word borrowing reminds me of this subject we learned in school, and it's still learned in school, orals. They will be playing the tape, and sometimes you wonder where you are. He borrowed the newspaper. He borrowed the newspaper. Who borrowed the newspaper? So recently when we were writing WASI, one student who never knew what oral is about was asking a friend, Auntie, do you actually know the name of the man who borrowed the newspaper? Even as of now, I don't know who actually borrowed that newspaper. But I tell you, if you take orals seriously, you realize that your pronunciations will be better. Excuse me, but the word is not penis. Sorry to use this word. It's penis. We don't say serious, we say serious. So if you took your orals studies seriously, you realize that you have a Prognathian advantage when it comes to pronunciation. So borrowing, all these words are borrowed from other languages. Of course, these are not the only languages that the words are borrowed. Others are there. But without much ado, we will continue with others. Alright. Our next thing we'll be looking at is blending. Blending. The use of the beginning of one word and the end of another word. Blending. Just as we have our blender and we want to prepare juice, and you combine several, if you like, fruits to do it, to blend it, that is what we also have in English language. Some of the words we use are blended, and a very quintessential example we'll be mentioning is kumawood. Kumawood movie. Now, it is a combination of Kumasi plus Hollywood. We all know Hollywood, US. But the Kumasi people are witty enough to cancel the C and cancel the Holly to make it Kumawood. The use of the beginning of one word and the end of another. So our friends in Nigeria will also say what? Nollywood. As for them, they have successfully used Hollywood, just cancelling the H and bringing the N, making it their own. What about those in Accra? My friend said Accra wood, Gallywood. So you see that Ghana plus wood gives us Gallywood. These are examples of blending when we come to the entertainment industry or movie industry. We can move on to something else. And a word like breakfast. It's a combination of brunch and lunch. Where to break? Of course, you know that the branch of a tree will get broken. Then you go to places and they say fast food. Fast has to do with the lunch food. So a combination of brunch and lunch gives you breakfast. Another word is happenstance. Obviously, it's a combination of what? Happen plus instance, or if you like, circumstance. Or if you like, instance. So the very new thing in the system that has to do with the VDMA bro or VDMA fracas, hulabaloo. Someone will say that the happenstance at VDMA this year is an eyesore. So the happenstance, a combination of happening or happen and circumstance or instance. So you see the beginning of one word and the end of another. We call it blending.